That was all you doing this.
No. Yeah.
I promise. I'm not in training. I don't gotta keep doing all the
He's pacing at his own pace anyway. That ain't the fast pace.
Boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter.
Terence Crawford enters Shakur Stevenson's training and provides expert guidance, demonstrating clever angles, composed defense, and surgical responses to outmaneuver Teofimo Lopez and dominate every frame with absolute, unshakable self-assurance.
Yeah. Yo. I want you to pull. Good. Good. Stay in your rhythm, champ. Stay in your rhythm. Your rhythm, your time, your fight. Let's go.
You trying hard? Good drive. It's effort.
Alright, sir. That's cool.
You wanna work this nigga?
Shakur Stevenson executes rigorous exercises and refines velocity, rhythm, and protection for the Teofimo Lopez showdown, while Terence Crawford observes intently, analyzing every motion and architecting superior tactics within camp.
Yeah. That's the second time that happened to you. Yeah. And I didn't even touch your body. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Shakur's trainer declares he dreads no one, enters with anybody, embraces every single confrontation, and stands prepared to battle absolutely every opponent.
So the best of the best. That go for everybody. For everybody. That go for everybody. I don't put him at the pound for pound over everybody. Now you figure out whoever you think the best, he the best.
Terence remains within Shakur's gym, providing fraternal guidance, imparting wisdom, directing tactics, and inspiring him with poised, assured, and masterful leadership.
People that know it all are the people that don't go very far. You gotta always be a student. You gotta always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
He's a work of art. The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's gonna be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he.
Terence Crawford celebrates Shakur Stevenson, highlighting his extraordinary abilities and acute ring intellect. He mentions that although some call Shakur tedious, rarely do many genuinely value his gift, tactics, and dominance.
Winning that.
I got Shakur.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like taking?
Within Shakur Stevenson's gym, Terence Crawford instructs him in diverse methods, stressing the importance of acquiring unique maneuvers from every single combatant.
So like a black kind of thing, like, no disrespect. Like, it's like, like when you go to cookouts and all your family be sitting there playing spades and like our type culture, I guess. We whooping their ass in spades, but they up.
Sean Porter perceives the imminent clash between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez as an encounter that Stevenson should dominate. characterizing it as Shakur's battle to surrender. He clarifies that if Stevenson operates at his peak capacity, he will command the rhythm and result. While admitting the volatility natural to boxing, Porter stresses that Stevenson's expertise and groundwork provide him a definitive edge. He voices hopefulness that the bout might be exceptionally thrilling and significant for the industry, potentially commencing the season with a powerful declaration in boxing. Porter additionally provides his private thoughts on the preceding year, sensing that the sport possessed unresolved matters and missed finality on major incidents, which he anticipates this matchup shall assist in correcting. Collectively, he communicates admiration for both athletes while underlining Stevenson's duty to implement his strategy and recognizes the massive potential showcased in this monumental showdown. This is a legacy-defining opportunity.
Yeah. In some other ways it could go, but a lot of people think it's gonna be. It could possibly be boring. I don't think it's gonna be a boring fight. I think Teo knows he has to step up. I think this is his fight. I think it's Shakur's fight to lose, and what I mean by that is if Shakur doesn't operate, if Shakur is caught sleeping, something bad could happen. It's his fight to lose, but I think it's also Teo's fight to win. And what I mean by that is if Teo performs the way that he can perform, and I know that's like an empty message, but
we never know.
All that said, like it could actually be a really great fight. I expect a great fight.
And I hope this fight, I'm gonna let you go last because I respect you. Every time I'm in an argument, we talked about what we talked about for the show. We all disagreement. I said, boy, I call Sean Zartel right now and eat your ass up. But I ain't want to do that. But I hope Teo and Shakur starts the year off big and actually builds the sport of boxing for have a great year. I felt like I was let down last year in sport of boxing. I don't know how y'all felt. I just felt like we had a lot of open stuff that didn't get.
Tim Bradley clarifies that the simplest trajectory isn't consistently the swiftest or most productive in boxing. He stresses that when confronting a rival who maintains the midline and masterfully manages spacing, a direct strike might appear rapid, yet it isn't always the premier selection. Bradley observes that numerous boxers believe the closest path toward the mark is naturally the most superior tool, but this remains a frequent fallacy. He underscores the hook as a more tactical alternative, detailing how it momentarily enters the adversary's peripheral vision, vanishes, and then resurfaces, enabling it to strike its objective quicker than a linear punch in specific scenarios. Precisely, Bradley recognizes the lead hook as an extremely lethal threat for Shakur Stevenson to monitor closely, underlining how hooks can capitalize on vulnerabilities and surprise athletes, rendering rhythm and positioning just as vital as velocity. This technical nuance separates the elite from the average.
Again, sometimes the closest route isn't always the fastest route. You got a guy that likes to stay on the center line, a guy that's a master at controlling range. Okay? So many people fall into the understanding that because the straighter punch can get there, they believe faster, it's the shorter route to the target, that's the best and most effective weapon. No, it's not. It's not. So the one thing about hooks are in frame and then out of frame. In frame, check this out. Check this out. Back in frame. So that moment, that small little moment where it's in frame, out of frame, back in frame, it gets to the straight line a lot quicker than straight punches. The punch that I'm worried about for Shakur getting hit with the most from Teo, and he's devastating with this punch, is the left hook.
Regis Progress emphasizes Shakur Stevenson's dominance in both psychological strategy and technical boxing expertise compared to Teofimo Lopez. He observes that although Lopez maintains remarkable athleticism and natural gift, he frequently encounters difficulties with concentration, steadiness, and preserving the correct mentality during high-stakes intervals. Progress clarifies that Stevenson's relaxed poise, tactical reasoning, and accuracy inside the ropes provide him a critical advantage, specifically in forecasting rival actions and recalibrating his methods mid-bout. According to Progress, Lopez's inherent talent independently is improbable to equal Stevenson's regulated methodology, which integrates strategic brilliance and physical capabilities flawlessly. He additionally underlines that psychological resilience can frequently surpass physical benefits, rendering Stevenson a more dependable and equipped warrior in this encounter. Ultimately, Progress categorizes Stevenson as the athlete with a more transparent strategy, superior perception, and sturdier reliability, illustrating why he maintains the mental and technical equilibrium favors Stevenson. This is championship-level analysis.
After that, I feel like, Shakur is probably going to start stepping up, and Teo's going to try to hit him, and it's not going to work. And then Shakur might start. The thing about Shakur is a very good, a real good counterpuncher, really sharp, real sharp with the counterpunch. He sneaks those punches in, and that's the ones that hurt the most when he just sneaking them in when you're not supposed to hit him. So I definitely feel like, I feel like Shakur is going to beat him comfortably. Now, not knockout, but comfortable 12 rounds for sure.
Have you sparred Lopez before?
I never sparred Teo, though. Never sparred Teo.
Teofimo, Lopez, and Shakur Stevenson. That definitely makes sense. Who do you think is going to win that fight?
I got Shakur for sure. Shakur.
Do you think he wins this comfortably, or do you think it'll be a close fight?
I think he wins it comfortably, yeah. I think he wins it comfortably. I think, Shakur, I think the thing is about Teo is very good athletically, but he's weak-minded. You can see in some fights he's struggling. Teo does struggle. Now he does come up from big fights. Lomachenko, he came up. Josh Taylor, he came up. But a lot of fights, man, he struggles. And, he does struggle on a whole lot of fights and stuff. Like, I think he looked good. Yeah, he looked good against Barboza. But like I said, for the most part, Teo does struggle. And I think he struggles mentally with a lot of things. But I think with Shakur, Shakur's going to break him. I think maybe the first two or three rounds, it might be a close fight. It might be close. It might be 2-1 or something like that. But then
Malik Scott evaluates the potential collision between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, concentrating on how each boxer's assets might impact the encounter. Scott highlights Lopez's agility and physical prowess, observing that these characteristics provide him the capacity to be volatile and erratic inside the ropes. However, Scott stresses that basic velocity and athleticism are inadequate against a technically dominant and tactically focused rival like Stevenson. He clarifies that Stevenson's talent for analyzing opponents, dictating the tempo, and capitalizing on vulnerabilities could invalidate Lopez's benefits. Scott additionally contemplates how combat intellect, rhythm, and judgment are vital elements that could decide the result more than pure physicality. By analyzing the pairing meticulously, he underlines Stevenson's advantage in expert implementation, implying that Lopez would require more than physical talents to surpass Stevenson's systematic approach. Scott's perspectives emphasize the necessity of merging talent with strategy for a triumphant display. This is elite boxing logic.
I say like TV friendly because it depends on which either guy, what game they come with. Concerning is Shakur going to use nothing but his legs? Is Teo going to do just enough because Shakur may offset him a bit and give him a look that he never seen before? I have Shakur winning. I think Teo, concerning explosiveness, he get it. Rapid speed, he get it. But I think when it comes to the craft and fundamentals, you have to go with Shakur. To me, he's a lot more seasoned. And plus, I just believe Teofimo, he makes mistakes to me you just can't make when you're fighting Shakur.
Like what?
You can't be overcommitting. You can't approach his offense range with your lead hand down, especially since Shakur is a southpaw. Because that means if you're orthodox and you're approaching Shakur with your lead hand down, you're actually closer to his jab hand. And we all know Shakur got one of the best jabs, especially from a southpaw standpoint. But it's going to be a good fight. The card is incredible by itself. You know what I mean? We already know how the card is. We got Keyshawn on it, Jarrell Miller on it, Shushu Carrington. It's a great card, but I'm going with Shakur for the win.
Okay, with that being said, then what does Teo got to do to win?
He has to get Shakur up. How would I say this? I don't want to just make it seem like come across as if Shakur is novice, but the times that Shakur is putting himself against the ropes, this is the time that Teofimo is going to have to depend on his explosiveness. He's going to have to depend on his offset lead right hands. He's going to have, but even doing that, everything with Teo comes off his front foot, his explosiveness, his speed, everything. So it's almost like whenever the times he gets Shakur up against the rope, he got to pick his shots well, But then after that, he have to be ready to defend, because with Shakur, the return is always.
Teddy Atlas intervenes to shield both Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez from the condemnation they have encountered throughout their professional journeys. Atlas stresses that public opinion frequently fails to grasp the entire magnitude of each boxer's commitment, gifts, and successes. He clarifies that both athletes have experienced instances where they were misconstrued or biasly evaluated, and he underlines the necessity to acknowledge their expertise, self-control, and labor. Atlas showcases Stevenson's tactical brilliance and poise, alongside Lopez's inherent physical prowess and combat intuition, demonstrating that both contribute distinct attributes to the industry. He additionally examines how outside disapproval can ignore the intricacies of a warrior's groundwork, psychological hurdles, and competitive choices by offering context and viewpoint. Atlas inspires supporters and detractors to value the subtleties of each athlete's path instead of concentrating exclusively on specific displays or status. This is a legendary coach's defense of excellence.
Teofimo at certain spots, he's avoiding this guy, he's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up, and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite, they will make, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I'll tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete. I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Cepeda, being elusive while being aggressive, walking them down, fighting on the inside, boxing well, still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great, and people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight, and it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk about, and they wanted to see in Shakur.
Jermaine Ortiz provides a reflective viewpoint regarding the upcoming clash between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, showcasing Shakur's evolution as a warrior. Ortiz stresses that Shakur has matured from his previous encounters and will not repeat those prior errors. In former bouts, Stevenson sometimes engaged recklessly without entirely mastering the spacing, creating vulnerabilities for rivals to exploit. Ortiz clarifies that this confrontation shall witness a more regulated methodology, with Shakur meticulously governing distance, rhythm, and placement to optimize efficiency while reducing danger. This is the version of Shakur that becomes untouchable.
Maybe a glimpse or two.
Why?
And one, Shakur said it himself after that fight that he wasn't going to fight like that again. And that's the main reason. He said he wasn't going to do it. And
Teo's cracking like that?
To 140, which isn't really, huh?
Is Teo cracking?
No, I don't think. I think he had more of a threat with the Cepeda as a puncher and Teofimo. But he's going up a weight class. That's not actually his weight class as well.
You think that'll play a factor?
No, that would play a factor in him not fighting the pocket how he did with Cepeda.
He observes that Stevenson's capacity to analyze his rival and recalibrate mid-bout has advanced tremendously, rendering him a more dangerous and cerebral combatant. Ortiz also mentions that this tactical progression is a consequence of Shakur's commitment to perfecting his skill, evaluating adversaries, and applying insights gained from both triumphs and defeats. According to Ortiz, this growth enables Stevenson to preserve calmness under duress, deliver clinical counters, and bypass pointless trades, providing him a definitive edge over Lopez if he utilizes these concepts efficiently. This level of maturity is exactly what makes Shakur a nightmare for any opponent in the ring.
Moving around, making sure that
in and out.
doing things that Teal don't like?
He got longer arms. You know, I think he'll just keep him. He'll keep him at bay. You know, Teo's a tricky fighter too, so not saying that he can't, you know, slip in and catch him with a couple shots, but Shakur, I think he's gonna be defensively sound. He doesn't like getting hit, and I think he's gonna stick to that.
You know, as far as Shakur is concerned, and Teal, when you look at the speed, when you look at the timing, who do you feel like has that edge when it comes down to that? It could be separate. It could be somebody got the speed and somebody else got the timing. But when you look at those styles.
That concludes today's video. Stay tuned until next.